Okay, welcome to part, I think 5 of building the compressor. Right now I'm redoing a bracket. Here's the one that's going to go under the Jeep, and the one that's holding up the tubing at the end of the Jeep. I think I refigured it and I don't like how flimsy it is, so I'm making it out of the same material that this stuff is made out of. It's pretty thick stuff, so I think I'll get better weld on it under the Jeep, and I'm just measuring it to the same size. I'm keeping this long, so I can cut it where I need it and all that. So we're just bending it now, and since you already saw me do that one, it's the same deal, just bending it with a hammer and stuff. So then we do it afterwards. I'll see you in a minute. Alright, so we're back here under the Jeep. I got it bent, so I think it was going to go right about there. And so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to find how deep it needs to be, or how high it needs to be. I'm going to cut it to the length of from the tub on this side, you see my finger, from here down this length. And I'm going to cut that here, but I'm going to cut it that far, but to down this way, so I can bend this over and I can weld it under here. Then I could have a slot going farther to go over the lip. So it's, I mean, it might be overkill, but I think that'd be something interesting to try to figure out. But do it on both sides, so it's solid in there. So I think we're gonna do some measuring and we'll get back with you. Okay, so now I did some cutting, and this is what it looks like. The two wings of the flaps there are going to be welded to the bottom of the tub. Right here where my thumb is, there's a cut that goes through. That's what the lip goes onto. And I cut the other side too short, so I couldn't get that on there, but that's fine. So it'll be like that. I think that looks good. And I'll just straighten it up so it's even with everything and all that. And I think that's where it's going to be end up being going. Now, one of the other things I want to work on today is get this situated, because I want to be as close to the tub as possible with the two pipes coming out like that, coming down here. So I'm going to smooth this off because that's really bad stuff from when I was drilling it out. And I want to see if I have any extra flat bar to put on here, and so I can bolt it on like there, like two other holes right there on the other side too, for like a gasket type deal. I'll put gasket sealer on it just to keep all the dirt out and stuff like that. It's not really necessary, but I feel like it'd be a good idea to do. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. See what I can find, and at least grind it off if anything at all. And I think we're good to go on that part. Once I find some parts to work with, I'll get back with you guys. So from the center of this hole to I think where we're about is going to be going past the radiator is 23 inches. And I think I'll do 23 instead of going short, because I could always go. It's easier to take stuff off, and plus I gotta account for the 90-degree turns and everything, so it might put me right where I need to be. So we're gonna cut the pipe here at 23 inches, just like that. So if I balance it, all right. So I'm gonna cut it, and I'll get back to you when we're gonna do some looking to see how it looks. So I got it laid out here where this it's going to be behind here, where the hose is going to pop out here with the quick connect. The pipe for it goes across to here, and I got the two marks indicated these two go together and these two go together, so I don't get messed up like I did last week. Now, somewhat of a tricky part. I have to install all the pipes so I can rig up where the second pipe that goes from the bottle in the back under the Jeep over here to the front. So that's going to take a few minutes. But I think once I get that in there, and I'll mark everything where they need to go, you know, like 1s and 2s and stuff like that, I'll have a better idea where stuff is supposed to be at, and then we can do some welding, and hopefully before work today, get it all hopefully stuck in there for a while, like welded in. But we'll see how that goes. I think that's it for now. I'll be right back with the everything put together so I can do some measuring. Alright, so I got those welded, and got that one welded down there, and it's in place. Everything is lined up all right. Okay, now, so this is the one with the 45. I'll have to angle that one a bit better, but from here to somewhere right underneath the alternator here, it's hard to see from down here, gonna get the measurement for that so it could get the other 45 on there to make it even again. So that'll be underneath all that. I'm hoping kind of go through this spot here. Can you see that? Barely. Jeez. Go through this spot here. It's underneath this flare, and I might cut that depending on how everything goes. And it'll go down there where that radiator is, about 3 inches from the bottom, which puts us right here. I hope. Can you see that? I think so. See my hand in there? That's where it's going to come out of, and that's where it attaches here, through right past there, all the way down to this hole. So let me get this part in here and show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is what it'll look like. You see the bar back in there? That's what it'll look like from the front, but eventually there'll be a winch in there to keep it from looking all danky like that. But the 90-degree goes directly in through that hole where the hose is going to be, and then right out here, you can see right there, that's where it comes out. So I do have to come up with a way for it to get directly to it, or however it's going to end up. This is why we tack weld, because now that I'm looking at it, that might have to be on a different angle than it is now, because the frame just, I don't know. See the mount there for the engine is in the way for it to be a direct fit once I get above it. So this is why we tack weld, because we don't know if it's going to fit, but I'm pretty sure it's going to get close. So I'm gonna see. Let's what I do with the blah 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 blah. Here it is. So with that 90 there attached to that, we'll go through this way. Out the bottom, go like there, and that's where the hose will run out from the compressor into there and down to the tank, and then the second one is from the tank down there to the front to that quick disconnect. And then I do have a second disconnect on the back here, but the hose strictly just goes through there, pops out down there where that hole is. So I'm not too worried about the piping for that. It's basically already covered. But I'm gonna do some placement, see if I can get everything to hold in one place. Then I'll do some measurement, see if I need to do some cutting on certain things and whatnot. I'll be right back. I'll get you guys an update. Okay, so I got the front pipe here, zip tied in place. The 90 is directly in there, so that's on target. And that pops out right there. We come in here, I did some cutting on some pipe. It's hard to see. Where's my phone? Phone. Okay, I'm blind. You guys find it before I do, when I do in the video. Okay, so down there, you can see right there where my finger is, that's where the 90 degree is. And it's on the wrong angle, but I have that pipe cut. here's to the 45, and not everything is directly center. It's cockeyed a little bit, but the only thing that's welded is the 90 to the long pipe that way. So that's it on that. But I think everything is done for cutting and grinding for the most part. Now, if everything is correct, like I got everything laid out, I got a few other minor things to do. One, I gotta build a bracket for this so it doesn't flop around everywhere and it looks decent. But I gotta make sure everything fits first before I do that. And then you gotta weld on these brackets for the pipe underneath. And once that's in, then I'll come over here and figure out what to do. So what I think I have to do is get a 90 and get a plate like I was explaining earlier, and I'll just put it right there. And whichever one this one will be, I'll mark it, and it'll be to that one. And this one will have to come out an inch or more so it can bypass the other pipe, unless I go down with that and then another 90 that way, which would be more flush, but it'll be more complicated to feed the hose through. So we'll see how everything, like how the hose goes through everything. If it goes in all right, which what I'm going to do is I'm gonna get steel cable here for like I'm doing drains, and I'm gonna cut a hole in the hose, very small, maybe drill it so I could feed that into it. Once I put the steel cable all the way through where it needs to come out, so example, it probably comes, the hose will go in through this way and travel all the way down here to the back, or then it would go into the cap. And then I'll just tape the crap out of that with electrical tape so it doesn't come off halfway through. And I might get like lube or some type of assembly lube to lube the hose so it doesn't really get caught in anything. It just goes through, because I mean, I don't really care, it's not going to be seen, so I think I'll try that. I think that'd be a good plan. Oh, I also had to bend the fender flare here, or wheel well, sorry, into getting it to go directly towards it, because if I didn't, I'd have to go from here to here, then another 45 to this 90. But going straight across makes it less complicated and a bit nicer. Then once the hose is all backed in and everything, we gotta do some wiring on the compressor and doing the bottle, which is gonna go right in there. So I'm excited for it. We're getting close. Once the welding's over, that is just basically bolt-on stuff, but we'll see. But I think I'm done for today anyway. Maybe not the video, but I'm done for today. I'll see you guys soon.